Hey Nick, this is Craig. It's November 26th, following up on our meeting the other day where we were talking about business opportunities. You know, when Getty Solutions is working with a couple of companies that are in the unmanned aerial vehicle space, Avid, which is headquartered up in Yorktown, Virginia, and KSI Video, which is headquartered here in the Tidewater area. We know those two companies well. I want to talk to you and have you take a look at this and consider this, you know, as we were talking about opportunities and things that could be done. The potential markets for UAV applications, if you look at this slide, I mean, they're just all sorts, right? It starts at the simple stuff, doing, you know, the real estate reviews, to doing precision agriculture, to doing construction site inspections, where even for large facilities like coliseums, flying the interior spaces to do roof inspections, interior tank inspections for oil and gas tanks, rather than having to put a guy in there and clean those things out. You can put a UAV in there to do corrosion and structural inspections. So this is just a partial list of those things. That is a market that's going to develop, we think, pretty rapidly. And those small electric duct fans from Avid that are 6 inches, 8 inches, the EDF-8 is 8 inches in diameter, and that's the one that's being proposed for the Air Force Thunderstorm project. But a lot of different potential things to fly here. One view that we have is that the unmanned aerial vehicle, some of the advantages are basically it's just this faster, cheaper, and safer. When you think about for example, a cell tower inspection, rather than having a guy climb up a tower, putting one of the little ducted fans with the sensor packages to just zip up the vertical and take a look at everything. Faster, cheaper, and safer. Certainly the same for utility electric power towers, those where they're looking for those porcelain insulators, rather than having those helicopters fly with a guy dangling out the side off a board to take a look at those insulators, those porcelain insulators. The UAVs can do that. Again, faster, cheaper, and safer. This Air Force RFI that we've just responded to for Thunderstorm is about chemical, biological, nuclear inspections. Certainly flying a UAV into a site where there's been a potential chemical or biological hazard with sensors that can detect those is a lot faster and cheaper and safer than putting, you know, folks in a helicopter, you know, maybe with hazmat suits, or walking people onto the scene in hazmat suits. Um, think of Fukushima. They actually used the T-Hawk, which was designed by Avid, to do the inspections in Fukushima. So that was one use. Again, it's just faster, cheaper, safer. That's the primary advantages directionally. Some of the market segments, you know, basically it's the indoor applications versus the outdoor, and then it's the civilian commercial municipality versus the U.S. government. A lot of different opportunities in all of those verticals that are going to be developing in the future. And our view is that a lot of these end users really just want the data. They just want the data faster, cheaper, and safer than whatever mechanism they're using now. So the mechanism they're using now might be guys in hazmat suits, helicopters, you know, different combinations of, you know, equipment and people. And where a UAV could go in with a sensor package and collect all that data, and then that data is streamed back and made available instantly anywhere to anyone in a controlled fashion. You know, this is a way to get a faster and cheaper and safer delivery of, you know, that information back to the end user. And we think end users, rather than really wanting to be owners of fleets of UAVs and sensor packages, what they really want is useful data. And if that's the case, you know, they're not really interested in, you know, becoming a UAV fleet commander or owner. We think a lot of the owners would rather just buy the service, where they want the bridge inspection, or the facility inspection, or the interior tank inspection, or the agricultural inspection, or the visual inspection for a real estate flyover, or any particular use that you can think of. They would rather just hire it out as a service, you know, where they say, this is the data I'm looking for, and we would come in with a company and provide that service. And then that data, using the KSI technology, becomes warehoused, it's indexed, it's secure, it can be shared and controlled, it's searchable, everything you need to make data useful. Right now, a lot of municipalities, even police departments, are buying Predator drones, and they get streams and streams and streams of data, but they don't have a way to index it, to share it, to search it, and so they get overwhelmed by the data. Even facilities such as casinos, where they collect all of this data, they have just shelves and shelves and shelves of tape, but it's not indexed, it's not easily searchable, and they just become overwhelmed by the data. Well, with the KSI Mission Caster and Mission Keeper, we have a way to not only get the data, record the data, but we can index it, library it, share it, control it, and make it secure. A little bit of a game changer in making data useful. So a company that combines all three of these things, the sensor, the collecting platform like the unmanned aerial vehicle, and then the data integration, the sharing, the warehousing, the security, is a very useful offering. So a little bit more about the pros and cons of inside versus outside. And I'm going to send you this slide deck so you can see this and spend more time just reading it over. But this is what a company might consider. So let's look at the company. Right now, our relationship with Avid is down at the bottom of this, where the flight system design and test. That's Avid. They have the capability to do the manufacturing and the maintenance. They could just move up to that next level. So Avid is really these bottom two horizontals here. We're engaged, and Getty Solutions is engaged to do the marketing and sales. So we get them in front of the customers, the potential customers and the partners. We've partnered them with KSI to integrate the data management piece of that. Now there's a next level down below in Getty, and it's the operations and training. And you can see we've got NUCO listed there. So this would be where the company sits in there, and perhaps they buy all the unmanned aerial vehicles, the packages from Avid, and then they turn around and NUCO offers this service to end users, where they'll do the cell tower inspections, or the electrical tower inspections, or the agricultural inspections, or the structural inspections, or the interior tank inspections for oil and gas companies, that sort of thing. And Getty could function as the outside sales, just as we do for Avid right now. And we have a little broader mandate than just outside sales. We're actually doing investment capital introductions and joint venture and development partnerships with them as well. But NUCO could also use Getty Solutions for outside sales to start. So when you think about opportunities going ahead, maybe rather than working for somebody else, there's an opportunity here to create a NUCO. And I wondered if this was something that you with your father's backing, because you guys are looking at all these other companies, well, rather than fund, wardrobe companies or, whatever, the new thing is that you see there. Let's create a company, this NUCO, that does this UAV service offering using the relationships and the technology and the know-how and the know-who that we've got right now. So that's one thing I wanted to just have you consider. That's why I'm recording this. So I'll send this, I'll upload this presentation to YouTube and send you the link, and I'll send you the slides that are used in this. And then if you would consider this, maybe we could talk about if this is some way to go forward here. I think the UAV market, in the commercial applications, we're right at the beginning of it. We think it's going to be a very, very large market. Certainly there's going to be roll-up and consolidation like any new market experiences. And so getting a company with great technology and capabilities like we have in the combination of Avid and KSI could be a nice way to get started. And there's certainly some good exit strategies for any proven model for an investor. An investor comes in, backs NUCO, we grow NUCO and prove it, and then just in the natural consolidation and roll-up that a new market like UAVs is going to experience over the next few years, that's an exit strategy. That's a return to the investor, something for your father to consider. But so that's what I want to. It's been on my mind since our discussion in the coffee house the other day. So I'll send this over to you. Give it a look, give it a listen, and then let's talk about it and see if it feels right or of interest to you. And then we can figure it out. You know, you tell me what you think. All right.